Welcome to Crisis and Capital, where global events drive financial outcomes. In today's episode, we're focusing on the high-stakes 2025 elections, a year that could reshape the political landscape and the global economy. As countries prepare for pivotal elections, the choices made at the ballot box will have far-reaching consequences on everything from international relations to economic policy. If you want to stay informed on how these elections could impact your world and wallet, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more critical analysis here on Crisis and Capital. 10. The rise of populism and nationalism. At number 10, we're diving into the rise of populism and nationalism, which has been a defining feature of recent elections across the globe. In 2025, more countries will be confronting the consequences of nationalist movements as candidates push for isolationist policies, tighter borders, and resistance to foreign influence. 9. The US presidential election, a battle for global influence. Number 9 takes us to the US presidential election, a contest that inevitably carries weight far beyond American borders. With global challenges like climate change, the Ukraine conflict, and China's economic rise, the choice of the next US president will have profound geopolitical ramifications. 8. India's election, shaping Asia's future. At number 8, we look to India, one of the fastest growing and most influential nations in the world. With a population of over 1.4 billion, India's election in 2025 will have implications far beyond its borders. Will the incumbent government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, continue its push for a more assertive and nationalist agenda? Or will opposition parties gain traction, shifting India toward a more internationalist approach? India's stance on key issues like trade, security in the Indo-Pacific, and climate change could alter the balance of power in Asia. 7. Europe's electoral crossroads, populism versus progressive reform. Number 7 brings us to Europe, where elections in multiple countries will be pivotal for the continent's future. In places like France, Germany, and Italy, elections will be battlegrounds for the clash between populist movements and pro-European, progressive forces. Europe is also grappling with challenges like the migration crisis, economic recovery post-pandemic, and its relationship with Russia and China. 6. The future of China's political landscape. At number 6, we shift our focus to China, where the absence of regular elections in the traditional sense has created a unique dynamic. In 2025, China will not hold elections in the same way Western democracies do, but the nation's leadership transition and internal political shifts are a major story to watch. President Xi Jinping's consolidation of power has already raised questions about China's long-term political future. How will the leadership handle internal unrest, economic slowdowns, and global isolation? The strategic decisions made in Beijing could reshape everything from global trade to military tensions in the South China Sea and beyond. 5. Middle Eastern turmoil and uncertainty. Number 5 brings us to the Middle East, a region always full of surprises during elections. Countries like Israel, Turkey, and Iran will all hold significant elections that could either lead to greater regional stability or heightened tension. In Israel, the direction of the ongoing conflict with Palestine and the relationship with Iran could be on the ballot. In Turkey, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's power may be tested as voters grapple with issues of democracy, foreign relations, and economic instability. 4. Latin America's turn to the left. Number 4 brings us to Latin America, where elections in countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico could signal a broader regional shift. Many of these nations have experienced a pendulum swing between leftist and right-wing governments, and 2025 could be another year of seismic change. With issues like income inequality, corruption, and the response to climate change topping voter concerns, results of these elections could have profound effects on global trade, immigration patterns, and the relationship between Latin America and the US. A shift leftward in these nations could challenge US influence while opening doors for closer ties with China. 3. The ongoing war on disinformation and election integrity. At number 3, we turn to the war on disinformation and the battle for election integrity. As witnessed in past elections around the world, foreign interference, digital propaganda, and fake news campaigns will continue to be major issues in 2025. Governments are facing increasing pressure to ensure that elections are free, fair, and transparent, especially as technology allows for new forms of manipulation. Social media platforms and online ecosystems will become battlegrounds for shaping public opinion. How countries handle these challenges in 2025 will affect the trust in the democratic process and could have long-lasting consequences on global political stability. 2. The role of climate change in electoral campaigns. Number 2 takes us to the growing issue of climate change, which is expected to play a pivotal role in the 2025 elections across the globe. From rising sea levels to extreme weather events, political candidates will be forced to address how their policies will tackle the climate crisis. In regions vulnerable to climate impacts, such as the Pacific Islands, Africa, and even parts of Europe, climate change will increasingly be viewed as a central issue in the next wave of elections. The policies voters support could dictate the world's collective action on global warming, environmental protection, and international climate accords. 1. The global economic reset, post-pandemic recovery and future crises. And at number 1, we address the global economic reset. Elections in 2025 will be deeply influenced by the economic aftershocks of the COVID-19 pandemic, the global inflation crisis, and rising energy costs. Political leaders will need to navigate growing inequality, rising debt, and supply chain disruptions. How governments handle these economic pressures will not only determine the future of national economies, but also influence international cooperation on critical issues like trade agreements, climate action, and technological innovation. A failure to address these issues could lead to increased political instability, while innovative solutions may set the stage for a new era of global cooperation and recovery. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.